That's a great question, and it echoes a preoccupation in our culture for perhaps 4-5 decades. What is my worth as an individual? What is my significance? And I think it's an important question for human beings, because something deep in our hearts wants to know what our significance is, what our importance is, what are we for on this earth? And so this is a question that everybody asks. I think as well it's important today because having a sense of worth is connected with having confidence. So if I have a sense of my worth as an individual, I also have a sense of confidence that I have something to give to the world, that I can make a difference in the world, that I can love somebody. All of those things depend on a sense of inner worth and value. So in our culture today, everybody asks, where do I find a sense of worth? And there are many ways of trying to answer this. I'm going to discuss 3 of those ways that in our culture we try to stake our worth on. The first is to gain social recognition or social status. You know the economist, the famous economist called Adam Smith. He is called the father of modern economics. He once asked, 200 years ago, he said, now, why are we so busy as human beings? What drives us to do more, to make more, to get more money? He said, is it just about getting things to eat and to wear? He says, no, it's about more than that. It's because we want to be seen. We want to be noticed. We want to be loved as human beings. And one way to get a sense of worth is to gain social status. And you know, it's said that psychology, which is one of my areas, obviously, as an academic, psychology began by looking at the way chickens behave. And chickens, their behavior often follows rules. And human beings, our behavior often follows rules. And one of the rules of human behavior comes right from the chicken yard. It's called the pecking order. We like to put ourselves into hierarchies, into ladders of importance, with the important people at the top and the not so important people at the bottom. And we feel if we can get up to the top of the ladder, then we are worth more. And so we fight to get status and recognition. And so, yeah, a big car, it's nice to drive a bigger car, but even nicer is that they notice you and it gives you status. So that's one way today that we try and get a sense of worth. Another way is through achievement. The more I achieve, the better I feel. Now, the problem with both of those things is that you don't necessarily have control. You have the nice car, but then your business crashes and you have to sell it. You have the big home, but then you get older and you don't need a big home and it's too much now to clean and to keep. You achieve status at work, but now you get ill. You achieve much money, but now they make you redundant at work. They don't want you anymore. And if you stake your sense of self-worth on status and achievement, you may easily fall. And then, what is your worth? Because if now you fall down the ladder, maybe you're worth nothing. And so there's a third way that our culture says you can get your self-worth. And that is self-esteem. You say what your worth is. You know, you can get esteem from status, you can get worth from achievement, but the best way, our culture says now, is you say what you're worth. You look into your heart and you say, I am worthy, I am special, I attract people, I am being positive about me. And that sounds fine because no one can take that away from you. But psychological experiments have shown that if we try to just insist on our worth, it doesn't tend to work. In the end, we feel worse because it's our own propaganda. It just depends on us. And so we find ourselves still saying, is there a stronger grounding for our self-worth than just what I say, or status, or achievement? And what is it? And here the Christian message, the Christian gospel, has something very important to say. Because it says that Jesus Christ came into the world to do two things. He came to reveal God to us, to show us who God is, to reveal what we didn't know, and to die in our place. But he came to do something else. He not only came to reveal who God is, he came to show us who we are. And in John, in his gospel, he says, the gospel is this, that as many as receive Christ, as many as receive God's message, he gives them the right to become or to be called children of God. And so we become children of God. And what that shows us is that we are loved. And more than that, we are called to be servants of God himself. In fact, the word the Bible uses is that we are made in the image of God, and we are called to bear his image in the world. And that is the basis of our worth and our significance, that God himself, from beyond our own minds, from beyond our own imaginations, reaches into our hearts, and he tells us he loves us. He tells us we are made in his image. He calls us to contribute to his world and make more of it in his image. And that is a foundation for our self-worth that nobody can take away, and that is grounded in God himself. And I can't think of any more secure foundation for self-worth than the Word of God. Well, for more on this topic, I've written a book. In English, it's called The Big Ego Trip.